Greetings, folks. This is Coco Smooth's new comic book day previews. And today is the 24th, I believe, September of 2020. And this is the stash that I've got for this week. We'll start with DC Suicide Squad number 9. Written by the awesome Tom Taylor. Not sure who these artists are, Redondo and Lucas, and from my understanding, anything that Tom Taylor does is real good. He's spoken well of in all of the comic community, so I imagine he's going to be the next Tom King, Scott Snyder kind of deal going on for DC. Huh? Next book, Speed Metal. DC Speed Metal, you know, part of that whole Batman Who Laughs super story arc going on with DC. Really didn't read it yet, but you know, just showing it off. And this week, Venom 28, cover B. I believe this is the Stegman cover. Could be wrong. Heard it was there was a lot of hype going on for Venom, but heard that this issue kind of killed the hype. And cover A. So what we got going on? Cover A, Venom. Venom Beyond Part 3. Had to go to a whole other comic book shop since they only put one Venom issue limit. Marvel's Doctor Doom number 7 by Christopher Cantwell, and the art by Salvador Larroca. I like it. His art's pretty dope. And Doctor Doom is my most favorite comic book character, period. Victor Von Doom. And the big one, Ten of Swords Creation, part 1 of 22. Holy smokes, guys. 1 of 22 by Hickman, who has pretty much changed all of the way we look at X-Men books in general. You know, they become this pansexual community kind of going on. They're not heroes no more, but hey, to be honest, they don't need to save people after the way we treated them. Just saying. Apocalypse. I like Apocalypse in his new role. Kind of hero, bad guy, hero character. Antithesis number 2. Supposedly something really good supposed to come out of this series. I imagine Galactus related, and I haven't read it yet. I figured at some point I'll get the Comixology to read it, but you know me, minty fresh, so I don't try to read my hard copies. Alright, now that the mainstream is done, we'll go with Image Nomen Omen number 9. It's supposed to be kind of like a horror kind of comic. That's, I believe, cover B, and this is cover A. Like that with the pumpkin patch. I believe it's this was originally an Italian book that made its way over to the U.S. At least that's how what I figure, since I noticed the Italian issues when I googled it back in when issue 1 first came out last year. Bliss number 3. The art's actually pretty dope in this. I couldn't help myself. I flipped through the entire, issue 1 and 2. I obviously didn't read it. Just wanted to see what the big deal was, and I feel that based on the art, there's gonna be something. Kind of reminds me of like that never-ending story turtle. Achoo! Sneeze. All right. Oh. Undiscovered Country second print. I believe that came out last week, and I already got the first print, a couple weeks back. But I'm a big deal, I'm a big fan of second print these days, and sometimes second prints be worth more than first print these days. Now, back in the day, that would not fly. Telling you, we avoided second prints like the plague. You want to get that confused with the first prints, which was the real first appearance in Keys at the time, but lower print runs these days, so it's making second prints much rarer. Anyways, this is Undiscovered Country number 8 by Scott Snyder, and the reason why I got this obviously is because Snyder's hot, and at some point it might be optioned. And from my understanding, the way this book was described, it's like America meets Wizard of Oz and Narnia, and with an American twist, So I think it's kind of cool. High concept books, I'm all about that. And Kanto by IDW, Kanto 2, The Hollow Men. I'm a sucker for chibi characters, and Kanto kind of scratches that chibi character itch. Kanto 2 and The Hollow Men. Yes, it looks like goes up against scarecrows on this. And yeah, one of these days I'm going to share with you the rest of my Kanto collection. But since this is about this week's new comics, this is what I'm focusing on. Excuse me. And from Vault Comics, Engine Ward. Now, you have to forgive me. Obviously, I've ran out of premium supplies, and this is a gatefold cover, and you would, if you flip the back, you would see the other half of her face. And yeah, Vault Comics, I've been feeling their stuff recently, from their horror to sci-fi stuff. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, I get caught up in the hype of investing in junk, but the truth of the matter is, I'm not really selling none of this stuff. I think I just like own nice things, you know what I mean? And this is, if this ever goes up in value, I'm like, bragging rights. That's it. Like, I ain't trying to sell none of it. That's how I operate. Okay, so also by Vault Comics, Autumnal. Supposedly, it's this year's horror thing by Vault, and it falls under their, I believe, Nightfall subdivision, or whatever they call it. I mean, kind of like DC Black or Vertigo. That's cover A. And cover B, which is Virgin. Like, I had to guess. It's a good thing that they put these comics together. I would have known what the heck this is, because no title on it. Art's looking kind of cool. Very getting ready for that Halloween fall kind of thing going on for you pagan celebrating peoples. All right, by Boom Studios. We Only Find Them When They're Dead. Number 1, second print. Again, believe it or not, these second print runs and third print runs and multiple 4th, 5th, 5th, 6th print runs tend to be lower in print than the first print, which makes them collectible for some reason. At least that's what eBay shows. eBay be showing, well, not this part in particular book, but that's the trend. And Boom and Marvel, Boom's, I believe, spearheaded that trend. And all of a sudden, Marvel and DC have started to catch on. And they started to do their print runs, multiple print runs with different covers, So You have to do different covers to make it worth the print run. Otherwise, nobody really cares. They're like, it's uninspired, you know. But yeah, the cover art in this is pretty badass. By Dan Mora. Dan Mora's work on Once and Future is pretty dope. So, well, I'm gonna have a whole video segment on that too. You know, me showing you my Once and Future collection. But yeah, look at this. We only find them when they're dead. Next up, Wind. Wind number 3, the second print. Again, everything from Boom Studios is just hot. And everybody knows who James Tynion IV is, since he's writing the hottest thing this summer, which is the Batman Joker War. Yep. And he wrote this kids series from Boom Studios, and it's pretty good. At least from what I hear, because, again, I don't read my hard copies unless I have a extra reader copy. Hmm? And yeah, you know me, my multiple print runs. I'm a sucker for that now. But this is actually first print, issue 4 came out. I believe next issue may be the last in this first arc. Because originally it was supposed to be sold as a graphic novel, but they split it up. And in a way, it's kind of genius because they're going to sell it as graphic novels later on, which people are going to pick up again. So, yeah, the people have, you know, and it's for young age. It's focused on YA readership. So, and you know me, I just want to have nice things. And this thing might blow up, you know, like the TMNT of this generation. You never know, guys. One can only dream. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, ugh. Let's not do that one yet. Let's do this first. Yes, cover A of Unkindness of Ravens. That's so Raven. I'm sorry, guys, I couldn't resist. Written by Dan Panosian, Mariana Ignazi, Fabiana Mascolo. Issue 1. I couldn't help myself. The cover looks pretty dope, and it looks like that girl from Atomic Super Negasonic Teen. She looked like she could play this role. Just saying. Looks like a really dope WB witch show. But you never know. This thing might be hot. And this is cover B. Not quite sure who did the art on this one. And I dare not look. You guys could research this ish if you're that curious. Alright. Let's see. It is by Khalida. Mm-hmm. There you go. Hope that answers your questions. Ooh, and now for the premium shit, folks. See, this is the 1 per store copy variant of The Unkindness of Ravens. Not sure who did the art for this one, but this is some baller ass shit. Just because it's 1 per store copy. I've been addicted since getting the 1 per store copy of Once and Future King number 1. So I have a tendency to pick these up. 1 per store. Alright. And the last but not least, Wind number 4, Peach Momoko cover. I have issues 1 and 2. I do not have issue 3, Peach Momoko, but this one was such a cool one. Now, I'm not that big a fan of Peach Momoko, but I could not resist her Wind covers. These actually look pretty darn good. Pretty good. Well, that's. No, let's go back to wind again. There you go. So this would be. Yeah, that'd be that, guys. Usually the variant of this would be a virgin cover of issue 4, which would have no writing on it, just like Momoko, no writing either, just picture. Hence the word virgin. Just saying. Anyways, this is all I got. I could not afford anymore. Yeah, you know, car notes and house notes and such. At any rate, thanks for watching, and we'll do this again next Wednesday, hopefully, if I still have the moolah to get anything. Ciao.